Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my very first Budget With Me video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do have any questions, please comment in the section below, and I'll happily answer those as best as I can. We'll just jump right into it. This book that I am using, I just picked up from Walmart. I think it is just the Walmart brand. Found it in the back to school section of things. Now, my budget is very much focused on getting out of debt, and I personally follow the Dave Ramsey method, and I am cash flowing and debt snowballing and all of the things. So if you don't like the whole Dave Ramsey method, please click off my page right now. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. This one is what works for me, so that's the one I'm going to continue to use. This book is very still in its beginning setup phase. I will be decorating this whole page in a little bit. Borrower is slave to the lender. For those of you who know, Dave Ramsey quotes that all the time, and I think it is insanely true. So this you'll be able to watch throughout the year to watch my progression toward my debt snowball. I'll be highlighting some baby steps. Again, I am very much in the setup phase of this. But we're going to jump right into the January budget. Excuse me. I am using a Micron pen for my budgeting needs. I have my budget divided into expenses and sinking funds. Really good at following the pencil lines clearly, but I will be sure to erase those later. For me, I do not have a salary job. My job is hourly, and so I budget my month and I see what my total amount will be, and then I will make sure that I work that many hours or more to make sure that I meet my total for the month. Okay, so my rent, I live with my boyfriend, and our total rent is $11.25 a month, so we split that in half. So for the month of January, I will need to have $563 for that. TV and Wi-Fi is $130, so we each have a $65 responsibility for that. Our electricity fluctuates because our heating and obviously lighting and whatever is all on electricity. We don't actually have a gas bill. All of it is electric, so it fluctuates. It is winter where I live, and it is brisk, so we have had the heat on. I am planning on spending $150 for the month of January on electricity, so my half of that would be $75. My cell phone bill every month is $120. I plan for $150 worth of groceries. For my public transportation, thankfully I don't have to use it very often. My boyfriend's really good about taking me to and from work whenever he's not working, because we live right by work. Spotify is, I plan up, it's 20. I always plan a little extra so that way, heaven forbid, something is mixed up or kerfuffled. That way I have the ability to wiggle room with it, if you will. For January, for spending, I am going to put in $50 for restaurants. I'm going to put in $50 for fast food. I put $30. Coffee, I'm going to put $40. For Beachbody, I use the Beachbody on demand, so I try and plan ahead for that every month so that when my annual subscription comes around, I have money to just pay for it right out the gate. Plus, I plan $30 for Beachbody. I always plan a minimum of $300 for my debt. My student loans are minimum payment are about $300, so I always make sure I have at least $300 for that. Hulu is $10. Laundry, I plan for $10 a month. And Amazon Prime, I'm planning $10 a month. I'm gonna go ahead and write the sinking funds out very quickly, and we'll be right back. Okay, for my sinking funds, for those of you who don't know, sinking funds are savings that you are saving for, or things that you don't need to do every single month, but you do need to have them in the budget so that when they come around, you are squared away and set for them. So I don't have dogs yet. Hopefully someday I'll have a dog, but for now I don't. So now I have fish. And I love my goldfish, and I plan for them. I'm gonna plan 40 for them because they are getting too big for their tank, so hopefully I will be able to get them a new tank come about the summertime. And they are also a little bit sick right now, so I have to do a little extra for them lately to make sure that they are staying healthy. I work in the airlines, and so for me, I always plan a small little fund just in case I need to get bobby pins or just a little sewing kit, or you know, a munchies because I'm running from one side of the airport to another. I always plan a small little fund for airport needs. Transportation, I am planning $30 for the month, which is things like Ubers, Lyfts, taxis, public transportation in foreign cities, things like that. Travel, I'm going to dial that way back from what I've had it in the past. I am going to put it at 40 for the month, and I probably won't use this until about spring break time, so I'll just kind of stockpile a little egg. I'll probably just stockpile that for a little while and then just use it whenever I need it coming up. Christmas just passed, but I always put money all year round in a Christmas envelope, so that way when Christmas comes around I am set to go. And I realized this year was in 2019 was my first year doing that, and I did not have as much as I'd like, so I am going to up the amount that I had from last year. Let me take a look at last year's. Yeah, last year I only put $20 a month in for most of the year. I think I'm going to do think I'm gonna double that. I'm gonna do 40. And so what'll happen is I'll pull $20 out of every paycheck to put in an envelope and set that aside for Christmas time. Pirate Christmas is a Christmas party that I host every year. It's incredible. It's so much fun. We all dress up as pirates and have a jolly old time. I am planning $20 a month for that. I am saving for a new car. I sold my car 6 years ago and have not had one since. I've been able to use public transportation and such since. However, I would like a vehicle to get from point A to point B, run some errands, things of that nature. So, I am going to put $100 for January in that envelope. And there is some uncertainty. I'm going to put $100 in for a new apartment, and that may end up merging into debt eventually, but there is a chance that my boyfriend and I might be moving this summer, and if that's the case, I want to make sure I have plenty of money set aside for a move. And if I don't end up needing it, if we end up staying where we're at, then I will be able to put all of the money that I've saved into my debt snowball with no problem at all. Gifts, this is birthdays, weddings, baptisms, blessings, whatever. If I need to get gifts for people, I'm a terrible gift giver, so I don't put a whole lot in there. Toiletries is $30 a month, and that is for makeup and toiletries. Clothing, I'm going to put $40 in there. And spring training, I am a diehard Cubs fan, and my mom and I go to spring training every year. I am putting $50 in for January, so I can add that to my fund. Alright, now I'm going to add these up so that I know how much I need for my expenses and how much I need for my sinking funds. Now, if push come to shove, the expenses are the things that I have to pay every single month. These are non-negotiable. I have to have enough money at the end of the month to cover all of these expenses here. The sinking funds over here, I want to be able to cover them all. If I cannot, though, these are the first things that are scratched off the list of things that I'm not going to fund. But January's looking up. January's not looking like it's going to be an issue, so we are going to be able to get the money for all of that. But first we have to total it up. That is $1,543. Making a mental note to give myself 4 dots instead of 3. Okay, so my total amount of money that I will need to fund all of these for the month of January is $2,063, which means I need to pull in $1,030 each paycheck at least, give or take $1 or $2. So now that I've got those numbers, I will go and I will turn the page here and I will quickly write in all of these in black ink so that way we don't have to sit and watch it, and then we'll break it down into this paycheck. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I laid out the paycheck number 1, and then I will get paid paycheck number 2 later in the month. I get paid twice a month, every single month. It's always on the 7th and the 22nd, every single month. So I always know when my paychecks are coming, and I also know exactly what my pay period is, so that way I can plan shifts and work hours accordingly. So what I do is I take my total monthly budget, which we went over on this page, and I cut everything in half. I plan half of the total amount due on paycheck 1 and half of the total amount due on paycheck 2. So for me, paycheck 1, we are going to go ahead and figure those numbers out. And for me, I always I pull most of my stuff out in cash, so that way I have it on hand. It's not tempting for me to spend it, and I always put it in cash envelopes and I put them aside, and that will be in another video once the paycheck comes out. We'll do a cash envelope stuffing. And then I have some that are electronic that I leave in my bank account. So, okay, so half of my rent, my part of rent is $563 a month. So if I take half of that and put it here and half of it and put it here, whenever paycheck number 2's video comes out, that it would be $281.50. So to make math easy, I avoid the cents on paper and I just let the cents kind of float around. I know that's a little bit touchy for other Dave Ramsey followers, but for me, that is what works, and that is what works every single month. So that's how I'm handling it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do $282 for my rent out of paycheck number 1. For my TV and Wi-Fi, it's $65, so I am going to plan for $33, and I will pull $32 out of this next check. For my cell phone bill, it is $120 a month, so from this paycheck, I will pull out $60 and put it in an envelope. My grocery bill is always $150. I plan for $75 each paycheck, and I do a lot of meal prepping. I take a lot of my meals to work, so that way I don't have to spend money out on the road. I don't have to spend money in restaurants and bars and whatever else that I don't need to. That's what spending money is for. And spending, I budgeted $50 for the month, so it's going to be $25 from this paycheck. Restaurants, I did the same, so it's going to be $25. Fast food is $15 because the total for the month is $30. And I know some people may be thinking $30 for fast food, that's unnecessary. However, where I travel for a living, occasionally you have to eat out in order just to get fed. So sometimes it ends up meaning a Big Mac from an airport McDonald's somewhere. And that works for me. For laundry, I planned $10, so I will put $5 in my laundry budget. And those are my cash expenses. Those are the expenses I will pull out in cash and put in their own envelopes. My electronic expenses stay in my bank account and they get shipped off accordingly. For CTA, I planned for $20, so I will put $10 on that. Electricity, because it's cold, it's January, I planned $75 for my half of the electric bill. So that would be at $40. We're going to do $40 on that, and then we'll do $35 on the next paycheck. Spotify is $20, so I plan for $10. Coffee, I am planning $40, so $20 for the first half of the month. This means that I am making my own coffee and putting it in my thermos and bringing it with me, or I am getting just black coffee from Starbucks because it is cheap. I don't want to spend a ton of money because I only have $20 to last me 2 weeks for coffee. Which, if I were to get the specialty drinks at Starbucks, that would be about $5 a day, which means I only have 4 days worth of coffee, where this $20 needs to last me 14 days. So it means I'm making my own coffee or I am drinking the cheapest stuff I can find. But the caffeine works either way. For Beachbody, I'm going to plan $15 out of this paycheck. For debt, I'm going to pull $150 and leave that in my account for my debt payments. Hulu is $10, so I'm planning for $5. And Amazon Prime is $10, so I'm planning for $5. Now for my sinking funds, again, these are going to come out in cash and they're going to be put in envelopes so that I have them whenever I need them. For the month of January, I planned $40 in total for my fish, so I'm going to put $20 there. $5 on the airport because we planned for 10. Travel, I'm going to put $20 there. Christmas, I'm going to plan $20 there because I planned for $40 for the total for the month. Pirate Christmas is $10. My car fund is going to be $50. Now, when I say new car, I am saving up for a Dave Ramsey car, which is basically some old beater that is going to get me from point A to point B. It does not need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be very nice. It just needs to work. So, because I'm not urgently searching for a car, I am just kind of building this fund right now, and so that day, when the day comes that I find a car that will work for me, that I do like, but I can afford, I will walk in, I will say, I would like to purchase this car, here's the cash, give me the keys, done. I don't want a car payment, I don't want to worry about all of that, I just want to be able to hand them the cash, they can hand me the keys, and I drive off in my happy new little vehicle. For my apartment, potential apartment, it's $50 for this paycheck. Gifts, again, I'm a terrible gift giver, so $10 there. Toiletries is $15 for this paycheck. Clothing is $20, and spring training is $25. Transportation, again, this is Ubers, Lyfts, taxis, etc. It's going to be $15 on that. So now I'm going to add up these numbers for my total amount in cash and my total electronic transfers. Okay, so my total cash is $765, and my electronic is $270. Oh, okay, perfect. So because these two numbers added together equal $1,035, I know that I am on track for the total of $2,063 that I will need for the entire month. So right now I am on track to make sure I have that, because $1,035 is almost half, or a little more than half of the total we need. So the next thing is the cash breakdown. And the cash breakdown is what I will take to the bank to get all of these numbers pulled out, broken down like this. So that way when I put them in the cash envelopes, they are already broken the way I need to. Because if I were to walk in and request $765 in cash, they would hand me 7 $100 bills, a 50, a 10, and a 5. And that's not what I want, because I won't be able to save for my different sections, my different categories here. So I'm just thinking, I don't think I need, I just need to do 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s. I don't think I will actually need any 1s. So then what I will do is I will go through and I will tally each one to make the required number. With the exception of rent and TV and Wi-Fi, I have two different accounts. I have my electronic account where all of this budget is transferred in, is direct deposited into, but on these two, it is in my cash account, but it will actually stay in the bank and I will transfer it directly to my boyfriend so he can go and get the bills paid. So those two are actually going to stay there electronically, but they are in cash because that is the account that it is going to. So I will start with cell phone, and I need $60, so that's a 50 and a 10. Grocery is, for me, I don't like to do a 50 for grocery. I'd rather have 20s, so that way if I only need to get a couple of things, I'm not asking them to break a 50. So for me, I do 3 20s, a 10, and a 5 for 75. For spending is 25, so 20 and a 5. Restaurant is a 20 and a 5. Fast food is a 10 and a 5. And laundry is just a 5. For my fish, I need 20. For the airport, I need 5. For travel, I need 20. Christmas, I need 20. Pirate Christmas, I need 10. New car, I need a 50. New apartment, I need a 50. Gifts, I need a 10. Toiletries, I need a 10 and a 5. Clothing, I need a 20. And spring training, I need a 20 and a 5. Now, if I add all of these up, it should equal 765. Well, when I add all of these up, it should equal 765 minus that right there. So when I add that up, it should equal 450. So let's find out. 3 50s is 150. Nope. 150 plus 100, 200 plus 50, 60 plus 25, 30, 40, $450. So what I will do is I will write 3, 10, 6, and 8. Now when I go to the bank, I will actually give them this breakdown exactly like this, so they know exactly how I want my money. And ones, I need 0, so. So that is that. That is how I will break down my budget. That is how I budget my life. First I do the full month, and then I do the first paycheck. I'll do the second paycheck. In January, February, March, somewhere in there will be a bonus check as well as a tax return. So stay tuned. I will have another video with my cash stuffing in a couple of days. Bye!